guys, this is Nu-Trix the Synth Guy, Summer Edition. You know, making music on the iPad is a really an advantage that we have when we're iOS musician, because you can create anywhere you want. You can just go on vacation or anywhere and create. And that's one of the real cool aspects of making music with the iPad. What's interesting about the Audio Unit 3 or the AU3 format is that now that Apple has announced that they're really supporting it and pushing it for the long run, a lot of companies, small and big, are coming out with plugins that will support that. So it will give us an even more powerful, stable format to work with, and it will position the iPad OS as one aim for musician, at least mobile musician. One cool thing that is coming out is from Eventide. Eventide has been doing effects since effects processor has been around, basically, and they now are aiming the iPad OS market. So they have a new, actually it's an existing plugin, but it's a new port to the iPad. It's the Blackhole. Blackhole is a fairly simple yet very powerful plugin. It works as a standalone on the iPad, and it works also as an Audio Unit version 3. So it has to be version 3 for the DAW to actually support Blackhole. Blackhole, if you look at the graphic itself, you've got mix, you've got gravity. Gravity is basically the equivalent of decay, basically. So inverse to enormous. The size of the reverb is the size basically for cartoonish small to very what they call cosmically epic. So it's just humongously huge. There's a pre-delay which can create really cool rhythmic effects with that, and it's in milliseconds, or it can be time-based if you put it in tempo mode on. There's a low, which is a low EQ, low frequency EQ. It's a shelving frequency, and it cuts around 350 hertz. And the high frequency for the high, then it's also cutting the reverb tail. It's a shelving EQ with a frequency of 2 kilohertz. There's a mod depth, so there's a modulation that is applied to the reverb. It can be very subtle, or it can be just bizarre, depending on how deep you want the modulation to go. There's a modulation rate, so the speed at which the modulation will be affecting the reverb tail. Then there's the feedback, of course, how much reverb you want. And you can go to the maximum. You have infinite, which is just really big, and there's freeze. And freeze becomes kind of the sound stops coming in, where infinite, the sounds is just, it just piles up all the sounds on the reverb without them stopping. So you just become a layer, and layer, whereas freeze stops the sound from coming in and kind of keeps that sound as a pad. So this, if you want to do this, just turn down the mod depth to 0 and the rate to 0, so that freeze actually works correctly. There's resonance for the two filters, so the low and the high frequencies, you get resonance for them, and you've got tempo sync for all of that to work with tempo. But what's really cool about it is that at the bottom you have, on the left and the right, two extreme, left and right button. When you press on them, you can actually select the value on the screen for the knobs you want. And the same thing for the other side. So then when you slide around, when you slide across from left to right, you actually change the values of all of these knobs in the manner that you decided. So it helps you create real-time motion into the effect and really rapidly. So I actually did some effects for this release. I don't know if they're in the release yet, because I'm actually working with the beta, and I'm just going to play them for you and see if you like them. That's it. So that's it. That's the Blackhole plugin from Eventide for the iPad. So if you like it, check it out. And if you like what I'm doing, thumb up. And see you soon. Cheers.